Hey guys, welcome to Centenary United Methodist Church, Going Deeper. It's good to see you all again. As we talked about in the last little vignette that we did our video in, I want to remind you again that I hope that you're using the Lent in a bag right now, and that you are trying to meditate on God, and that you're trying to change things in your life, and that you are spending this time thinking and meditating on Jesus and everything that He's done for you. I hope you're using the devotionals. I hope you're reading the Bible stories. And I hope that you are putting together some change that you put into your little box that we will share with the food closet at the end of this month. But thank you all for participating in it. I also wanted to talk with you just a little bit about what we have coming up in Easter. We're doing Easter in a bucket, and I will bring by your houses, just like I did the Lent in a bag, something for your family to do the Holy Week. There'll be Bible stories, there'll be a little devotional kind of pamphlet with some activities in it for you, and there'll be Easter eggs in there with candy in them for you. We're not going to do an Easter egg hunt this year, maybe next year, but I still wanted you all to have some sort of something during this time. So, talking back to our story today about Zacchaeus. And then we remember that Zacchaeus was a sinner. He was a tax collector, and the people really, really, really hated him. He was one who took the money for taxes from the people in the Judea or Jerusalem, all in those areas. The reason that he took money from them is because the Roman government, whenever they moved into an area and conquered it, which they had done in that area, they put roads and water and all sorts of structure changes in place for the people. But they also put in rulers that were not the people of that particular country. But they had to pay for it somehow, and that's where the taxes came into effect. And so they were always paying taxes, not to their local government or not to their local rulers, but they were paying it to Caesar. They were paying it to Rome. And so that really, really, really bothered the people a lot. Now, these tax collectors, usually they were Jews, but they were working for Rome. And they always padded their own pocketbook with it. They would take money for the taxes, but they would always add a little extra. So consequently, Zacchaeus had become very wealthy. So he had done things that were wrong, and he had done them to the people, and he had become very wealthy from it. But something struck Zacchaeus about Jesus, and I'm not sure what it was, but we want to talk about Zacchaeus in the terms of the word sight. In the scripture, in the book of Luke, before we talk about Zacchaeus' story, there's a story about how Jesus heals the blind man. And he gives that man the sight. Now, he gave him physical sight, but he also gave him spiritual sight, where he knew who Jesus was. And that was what really, really, really changed the blind man. Well, Zacchaeus needed to see Jesus. He wanted to see him. He had heard about him, but he wanted to see him. So Zacchaeus climbed up in the tree so that he would have sight, so that he could see Jesus. Now, he physically saw him, but when Jesus stopped and spoke to him and asked that he could come with him, that's when Zacchaeus received the spiritual sight. He realized who Jesus was. He had a change in his heart, and he received his spiritual sight. And that's when he repented and said that he would undo everything that he had done wrong, that he would give money back to the people that he had taken it from. So Zacchaeus made a change. So not only did both he and the blind man receive physical sight, they both received the spiritual sight. And that's what gave them the changed heart. And that was what Jesus was here for. He didn't come to save the people that were perfect. He came to save the sinner. And the worse the sinner is, the better the saving that Jesus did. So that's our story for today. And I hope when you think about Zacchaeus, and you don't necessarily think about the wee little man who climbed up in the tree, but you think about the fact that he received his physical sight from climbing up in the tree and being able to see Jesus, but he received his spiritual sight by repenting. Y'all have a good week. Blessings to you all.